Today, we are excited to welcome Eimantas Sinkevicius to the show. With an extensive 15 years experience in organizational transformations, I'm going to hand over to you, Eimantas, to give us a bit of an intro about yourself and just share a bit about yourself to the audience today.
Okay. Thanks, Bianca, for having me here together with you today. And myself, I am based in Vilnius, in Lithuania, and for over than 15 years, I'm working with operational excellence in many industries, as well as an in-house consultant, and as well as a external consultant for various industries and companies. So, on the way working with operational excellence, so there were some other topics popping into my portfolio, the topics like organizational maturity or project management or even the coaching. This is where I'm really focusing these days.
That sounds great. Thank you, Eimantas, for the introduction. It's great to hear a bit about you, and I'm sure the audience appreciates that as well. We're really excited to get into this topic today. So I'm going to go straight into some of the discussion points today. From your experience, Eimantas, can you tell us what is impacting operational excellence currently, and how does that look to change in the future?
Yeah, so I would say that the current environment that we really all obviously see and notice how, all the geopolitics is changing, as well as all economy is changing as well. And I think one of the key factors which is really changing these days quite a lot, it's the expectations of the customers and the expectations of the employees that are in each of the organization. And I would say that, the word trust that we know and we talk about it a lot. But going forward, I think this thing is going to become even more important in many different aspects and in many different areas. And if try to think about so what's going to happen and what could be the focus going forward. So I would say it maybe in a one word is ability to be simple, and even going forward to be able to simplify on everything what we are doing in the organizations, and even more importantly how we are doing in the organizations, because flexibility, this is one of the key features that I think every organization in the future will have to gain in order to be able to survive in such a fast-paced environment and circumstances. As well, these days we are really talking a lot and overlooking on different changes that are going in the organizations. So I guess that the speed of the changes, how good we are able to implement those changes, are going to become very crucial as well. And in operational excellence, we do have a phrase or saying that right first time. So might be that this will be coming into the picture much stronger in the future. And for sure, one more aspect I think which is very important for the organizations is really to overlook and have a deep dive on how we are doing the decisions, how we are making the decisions, and how well we are implementing in them. Because this is as well one of the key factors which are building the baseline for the organizations to focus on the effectiveness and the efficiency of the organization.
Makes perfect sense. Thank you for sharing that insight. There was one thing that grabbed my attention as well, where you talked about money or expectations from customers and employees. And I think that's, most of the times a critical aspect as well, on managing expectations. So I wondered if you could just, elaborate on that a bit, on managing expectations, from your experience. What have you seen? How do you manage those expectations?
I think at this point we start looking into the organization itself and into the value proposition of what organization is sharing with the customers. And with every time sharing the value proposition, we really need to ensure that all the processes internally in the organization, they're really reflecting and supporting that value proposition. So making sure what we are saying to our customer, what we are promising to them, we need to ensure that we do have this consistency internally in our organization, that all our processes and management of the processes is really well tested, and we really know how we are going to deliver that value for the customer. And talking about the expectations to the to the employees, I think that's where a lot of organizations will have to put more hands on. And I guess that as well, the same value proposition for the employees and being very transparent and keep on communicating. So, what is for every person in this organization is going to be the key.
Makes perfect sense. I think the next question really ties in a lot with the managing expectations from an employee perspective. If you could share with us, Eimantas, how to boost culture in operational excellence in the future, because I think these two can really tie in together.
Mhm. Um, I think there are several aspects which are, in my perspective, will be becoming very important in the future. So, first of all, it's leadership and all the leaders that we do have in the organization. And we talk now a lot that it's a very complex role. It really focuses a lot on different aspects and obligations. But one of the key aspects I think will be very important in the future is for leadership to understand at which time, at which moment, at which situation, the leadership style needs to be changed into some particular style which is required by some particular situation. So we need this change because leadership is really taking care of the people, and people are priority number one and will be priority number one going forward as well. And I believe that um, the people will really have to be more closer to each other going forward. And I guess that all the relationships that we do have in every organization, they will have to become even more closer. At the same time, they will have to become even more, let's say, efficient, that all employees, they would be really well onboarded into what exactly we're going to achieve here, what results we are aiming for, and as well very well onboarded and very well committed to the how we are doing it. So I believe that operational excellence culture, putting on top that, it should have a very simple structure. It should have a very simple approach. It should be very easy to understand, where everybody would be very able to commit to contribute to operational excellence in the most easiest way. And the leadership is here really to empower every person, various teams in the organization, to contribute to the overall result and to operational excellence contribution as well.
As you mentioned, that leadership needs to adapt to the situation and change leadership style depending on the situation. And I think that is so critical because across the organization, it's expected that change and adaptation would happen in various areas, but same needs to apply from a leadership perspective as well. And, I've heard that and seen that as a trending topic right across the board, from various different topics we've covered before as well. So I think that is extremely critical and definitely something that the audience will find very powerful from this episode as well. Amantis, I'm going to go into the next question. And I think this, we have covered a bit of this in some of the previous discussions. What will be the main challenges in the future, and what can organizations really do to overcome that?
Very good question, Bianca. And I think in my mind, I only have, one word of the main challenge going forward. This is recalibration of the organization. And when I'm saying recalibration of the organization, I'm having in mind that organization, should be able to reflect quite quickly and in a very efficient way on what is working today in the organization. Are there any changes towards our end goals? Are there any changes in our environment? Are there any changes in our, circumstances, or do we have any other factors that are impacting ourselves? And then very quickly and in a very efficient manner, just to replan on what we are doing, um, to rebuild some things that are needed to go forward. And even very important, and what I notice very often organizations are not doing so often, sometimes it's really very clearly to state what we have to stop doing in our organization, what is not working anymore, or what is not efficient anymore. So overall, keeping that organization as a system and really able to stop the system for reflection, to do a bit of replanning, and then going for implementation, or driving the results forward. I think this is going to be a key ability for each organization.
That makes perfect sense. And I resonate with what you've said now. I've said many times before as well, just do a few things and do it good instead of doing so many different things and none of them are to the performance that we want. So I think that is extremely critical, and thank you for sharing that. I'm going to swing the question around now. We were talking about the challenges. Now I would just like to understand from your perspective, what will be key factors for success for operational excellence in the future?
I have mentioned some of the success factors, I think,
In the
in
beginning.
the discussion before, but I think there are some factors as well left. I think what I have not mentioned, and I see, and we all feel that it is already very important. So basically, it is all IT infrastructure that we are using. So really making it simple as well is going to be one of the crucial success factors in the future. And then as well, data that we already are using it quite a lot, but going forward, really getting into a particular depth of data and really getting to know what exactly data do we need for our day-to-day management, and what data we do need for predictions and identifying the trends, or identifying the potential improvement areas. So overall, I just really once more want to emphasize that simplicity in what we do and simplicity in how we do is going to be a key success factor going forward.
Absolutely. And I think you've mentioned simplicity. I think that word, is difficult sometimes for people to really implement that because they want to do bigger, better, and the best. So, but keeping things simple, like we've said before, doing a few things, doing it good, doing what works is key. Um, We're coming to the end, towards the end of the episode, Amantis, and I just really wanted to open up the floor. Is there anything else you would like to share? Any recommendations from your experience? Any insight you would like to share with the audience on this specific topic?
Yeah. So, looking from the organizations a bit from the outside perspective, um, I really see that there is a lot of going on, and especially if the organization is very big, very complex. So there is this quite big level of noise happening on that, many different initiatives, many different results to be achieved. So I really would recommend for every organization to embed the reflection, moments in the organization where we all stop, where we all really try to understand, okay, what is working, what is not working, are we aiming for the right goals and results, and really try to reduce the number of initiatives, the number of projects, the number of different things happening on in the organization. Because the best things happen when we do have the silence in the organization. Because when we do have that silence, we do have a right focus of everybody in the organization, making sure that we really know what are our end results, what is the best way, how to do it, and then leave enough space for everybody just go and do it in the best possible way. Because, we are all just human beings, and the matter of how do we feel in the organization is really important. So, reducing the noise and making space for everyone, I think this is very important for overall success.
Thank you so much, Amantis, for your insights shared on this crucial topic. I really loved where you mentioned about the silence in the organization, and that is where things really happen. When there's a lot of noise, it's in any aspect like that, where there's a lot of noise, you can't really complete and execute your overall strategy and plan. So I love what you shared there, and I know the audience will as well. To our viewers, thank you so much for joining us today. We would just like to remind you to stay connected with BPM Real Talk. Please follow, like, and subscribe for more episodes coming up. And thank you for joining us, Amantis. We appreciate your time.
Thank you as well. Thanks, Bianca.